forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Should make you stronger. So my problems is like steroids, boy. I get my doses from all kinds of sources, and all know them still can't kill me now. You see, as them sink me under ice flow, ride out the storm, them just like a boat. So as the box me down, so I get up. They have to wonder how others get up, and every crack I see, I just see through. And by the help of God, I just get through. I just won't stop. I feel like hope. Trample them, kick out my problems, Trials and testings does come before blessings, but we have to be patient, yeah. Weeping and mourning in the night, but joy in the morning. But we just have to endure. You see, God the way no night come, so you don't really need to lie down. Them say what was wrong comes right back around. I go wait until my time come. So from sun up straight to sunset, you could catch I bustin' I sweat. I must time out. I feel like hope. Move any mountain, I trample any building like hope. trample them, kick out my problems, kick out my problems. You see, the Most High never give us more than we can bear, but He give us the strength and the will and the power and the courage to handle our problems through Him. So on the count of 4, I want everybody step on their problems. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them, and handle them, dismantle them, dismantle them.
Wake up, rise up. It's the NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Bringing you the energy, music and vibes to start your day right.
Trample them, trample them, trample them, and handle them, dismantle them, dismantle them.
Well, the Most High will never give you more than you're able to carry. And that is one thing that is assured. If you are going through it, it's because you're able to carry it. Good morning, everybody. Wherever you may be. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to our neighbors in the Caribbean. Our friends who are streaming all around the globe. Wherever you may be, thank God for you. And of course, welcome to New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio. Get caught up in the net. Let me say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. All that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing on to you. People, I'm yours truly, Sir Charles. Happy am I to be here with you. I'm even happier that we got the entire team on the inside with you this morning. So, welcome everybody. This is your Get Up and Go. We welcome you to the Breakfast Show.
Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Oh, yeah?
Right. I just had to get my mic operated. Morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Trinidad. Well, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. It's an absolutely beautiful Thursday morning. Lost a day there. We're happy. We're in the land of the living. Condolences to those who have lost loved ones. And happy birthday to those celebrating birthdays. And they find them. Today, of course, is September 11th. It's that infamous day called 9/11. But more importantly, we're going to hear from our guest this morning about why today is important and has always been important. And I just didn't, well, history is a hell of a thing, eh? But you know, you go into it and you check it and you get the details and you see for yourself and you say, okay, fine. So today is also the anniversary, well, not the anniversary, the new year of Ethiopia. And we're going to get a guest to call in and explain to us why Ethiopia celebrates their New Year's Day today, September 11. They've always done so. And they actually not in the year 2025. I mean, I was astonished to hear this last evening. And I went and I checked and I said, but how come I never focused on this?
I never knew that, I never knew that, Wendell. Yeah. I mean, when you told me that this one, I was like shocked. I said, yes, really?
Yeah, the day is called Enkuttatash. 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 That's what it's called. So it's a public holiday in commemoration of their new year in Ethiopia and Eritrea, of course. It occurs on Meskerem 1 on the Ethiopian calendar, which is 11th September according to the Gregorian calendar. So they're celebrating New Year's Day today. I wish I need to go to Ethiopia. I ain't taking no chance. I need to go. I've been saying it for a while, and I think I'm going to make it a priority now to go to Ethiopia and celebrate with them. Would you like to go to Ethiopia, Richard?
At some point.
Okay. I forget you don't like to fly, you know. I forget you free planing.
I mean, there's so many places to visit in Africa. So, you know, I'm interested in going to Botswana too.
Yeah. Yes, I had an opportunity when I went Ghana last time with my colleagues. Well, Abina Athlete she lived in Botswana at one time. And when we were coming back from Ghana, she left to go Botswana and she said, come and see it. And I said, yeah, let me get back home.
I'm going to Botswana. I'd like to go to Cape Town to, you know, South Africa, and I'd visit, you know, Cape Town. So there are different parts of Africa, you know, you'd be interested in.
Yeah.
You know, to see. I'd like to go to Ghana too.
Ghana is beautiful.
You know, and Nigeria. You can't go to Africa and not go to Nigeria at some point.
Yeah. Well, I've never had the urge to go to Nigeria, strange enough, but I want to go to South Africa.
So, you know, and especially in terms of if you ever did I don't know if you ever did your ancestry DNA.
I've been asked to do it, but I've never done it, you know.
Yeah, so like if I look at my ancestry DNA, I would have, in terms, of course, I have from the Asian continent naturally because of my father.
Yeah.
So big percentages there, but the other percentage, of course, is Europe and Africa, and a big percentage is Ghana and Nigeria. I have some from, is it Congo? Maybe, I think so. So yeah, from different parts. It actually tells you.
You're Congo, man.
It have but you have different. It actually what it does is give you.
I ask you a question. Are you a Congo man?
It gives you a percentile of your ancestry from different areas. So of course you'll have indigenous in terms of, you know, from indigenous peoples in the Americas, but at least mine. I don't know what other peoples would have. So you'd have that. You'd have the Asian continent, India, and then you have from different parts of Africa. But I think, but it is between. I can't remember which one is the bigger. If it was Nigeria or Ghana, but it's one of the two. And then it have other parts of Africa that you could see percentiles that you have in your ancestry. So yeah, it's interesting to do. I find it's interesting to see your profile, because we're all interconnected anyway. So you know,
well, so it started off the human race started off in Africa.
So it's always interesting to see, you know, where it's from and where you're from and where your ancestors are from. Yeah. You know, we also have some European. I think most of it is from, I can't remember where. Is it Norway? I can't remember. But so it's interesting to see it. But I didn't say good morning. So good morning to our listeners and viewers wherever you are, and thanks for joining us on the Breakfast Show. We know you are a choice, and thanks for choosing us. You know, on this Thursday morning, the weekend begins tonight, people, at a second after midnight, believe it or not. So we are on the cusp of the weekend, so to speak, on this Thursday morning. Of course, you know, this weekend is packed with stuff. And of course, the most important stuff is your Don't Leave Out or Watch Corn, which is on at Cipriani College this weekend on Saturday at 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30. And of course, you can get your tickets all over the place, including the Cipriani College box office, which opens from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. I'll tell you more of that later. I know we should get into our good news for us to keep on time. Let's get into our good news segment for today.
People think that Fort George is the only fort that we have here in Trinidad. I myself thought so up until a few years ago when I discovered that there's another fort with some really amazing views located on the north coast. But before I tell you all about it, I just want to give a shout out to Rural Delights Dirt Oven Bakery and Countryside Camp for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check them out for delicious pizzas and lunches. They also have freshly made juices and coffee, and it's not just about food and drinks, but it's an entire countryside experience. So see details in the caption and visit their social media pages for more info. So when you're driving up the north coast and you pass the entrance to Las Cuevas Beach, continue for another 2 minutes and you will come up to this sign on your right hand side that says Las Cuevas Health Center. And there's a sharp left turn which you'll be turning into. Drive down to the end of that road until you reach the health center and make a right. You'll see the area where you'll be parking your vehicle. And this is called Fort Abercrombie, the lesser known fort in Trinidad. According to the official sign that is posted on the compound, it was originally built in the year 1797 by Sir Thomas Picton at a cost of £300. It was intended to be used as a supply point for the British forces in Trinidad if they should ever be compelled to abandon Port of Spain, and also as a point of exit if they should need to evacuate the island. Usually when people visit this fort, it have about 2 or 3 popular spots that they normally go to. But if you're an adventurous person, there's actually much more that you can explore here. You just have to be very cautious and don't go too close to the edges because they are not fenced. Apparently it's also a great fishing spot because every time I come here there's always people fishing at various points around the compound. So go out and explore this amazing place and remember to keep it clean, no littering.
Yes, that was our good news for today. I'd just like to thank Afzal Abdul. I always follow some of his content, and he does a lot of interesting spots across Trinidad and Tobago. So thank you for that footage. I'm Afzal Abdul, and of course follow him on Instagram, etc. That was our good news for today.
Yeah, just a little more of the history of Adande, more history of Ethiopia. Good morning, Adande Pigat, who of course visited Ethiopia. And I remember when he went there, he sent me a video when he was walking about Ethiopia. And a little bit more about Ethiopia. Today, they celebrate their New Year, of course. And on the Gregorian calendar, Ethiopian New Year falls on the 11th of September. According to the Bible, God created the earth in the month of September. And legend has it that King Solomon gave the Ethiopian Queen of Sheba jewels during a state visit over 3,000 years ago. Ethiopia is actually in the year 2017, right? Not 2025. Just marinate on that a bit. They're in the year 2017. All right. So we're gonna hear from Captain Ron, who lives part of his life in Ethiopia, and of course his wife is Ethiopian, Fifi. We're gonna try to hear from him today concerning Ethiopia and what do they do today, because today is a public holiday called NETT in Ethiopia. I'm more excited about one day going to Ethiopia, I'm even more excited after speaking with Captain Ron and going a bit deeper into the history of Ethiopia today. Of course, that's where Emperor Haile Selassie came from. And he celebrates his birthday July 23rd every year. I don't forget that one, So happy New Year's Day to the folks in Ethiopia who listen to us on the morning, because we have a large listenership from Ethiopia now because of Captain Ron, So thank you very much, Captain Ron, for encouraging those listeners out there. All right. Where did Richard go to? I can now go through the chat.
All right. No, sorry. I just want to get my coffee.
No problem.
I know today is also 9/11, the celebration of the lives of the people lost in 9/11. Of course, there were several Trinidadians and Tobagonians that lost their lives in 9/11. I think was it about 25 or some number around 25, I think.
Of Trinidadians who lost their lives. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of that figure.
Yeah, Trinidad and Tobago who lost their lives, and I know their families probably go through, some level of pain every single year. The lives lost. So condolences to them and to the Trinidad and Tobago who lost their lives. And of course, 3,000 plus people lost their lives in that, tragic part of human history.
Yeah.
So, but
I can't forget that.
The Trinidadians and the Tobagonians and the families who lost their lives in that event.
I had actually just come back from the United States. That was the first time ever that I spent. I observed Labor Day in the United States that year, and I had actually just returned from the United States. Crazy. It was a crazy day. I remember I was in City Hall and they were watching at the television, and they said when they said a plane flew into our building, and they thought it was just like a plane crash until they saw the other plane going to the other. It was a crazy video. Crazy video. Even crazier was that video of that man being shot yesterday. And
Charlie Kirk.
Who has a hell of a reputation for saying some of the most outlandish things. And he was shot at a rally yesterday. I mean, that was a video. I don't know if we could show it, but I did send it in the chat for you guys. But because it was all over social media yesterday. Trended on social, all angles of that shooting, all different angles of that shooting yesterday.
Yeah. But he was popular in his own way, and I mean, and popular in, I suppose,
not a good way.
But in other words, yes, he's popular. Well, depending on which lens you look through it, because for some white Americans, he echoed their sentiments.
True.
So. But for others, he was, odious in his views, and for some people, he was a horrible person in terms of the views he espoused. But for others, they supported what he said. So,
Well, a lot of commentators talk about the fact that the same guns he supported turned around and look at what it did to him.
Yep.
Always be careful of what and who you support. Anyway, let me get you ready for the chat, Richard?
Yeah, that's not great. Hold on. Let me just get to the top of it. All right, you can start.
All right. So DL came in first this morning at 12 a.m. Morning, DL. You're up late, Gail or boy. I don't know who you are. We don't know if it's a man or a woman. Susan Jessup, of course, came in at 12:07. Valerie Mendoza, probably a baking bread. Sankofa, have you gone for your bread as yet? I bet not. Margaret Thomas, blessed guys. She came in at 1:09. Queens, New York, which is a new name. Hi all and good morning. Brennan Smith, Boy Bidesi from Davie, Garfield Hazel, good morning to the breakfast crew. Michael Cadet, Marcia Rock from Orlando, Florida. Erica Charles. We have quite a bit of people named Charles and Smith on this chat. Ava Smith, and here comes Ava Smith. Good morning, Richard, Wendell, and St. Charles, and all locked on. Marlon Motley from North Valsayn. Morning, Marlon.
Morning, Marlon.
There you go. Donna Ramlo Chan says good morning. Wendy Ann and Frank James also says good morning. The weekend is in sight. Yes, and Richard. Showing on Juliet Kerr, Subash from Woodland, Rena Jennings, terrific Thursday blessings. Carol Guevara, who celebrated her birthday recently. She might still have cake. You all can go check her. Helen McCarthy says morning to the breakfast team and to the listeners and viewers on Gael, I guess. Good morning, breakfast crew from Doreen Pierre, Robert Taylor, Odell Guy, Victor, Patricia Defoe, Debbie Modest, Diane Payne, Apollinus, Slick Money Grip, Grace Smith, that's not a name, that sounds like a new name. Joanne Cyrus, Sir Charles, thanks for the blacks, Sir Charles from Diane Payne, Gavin Frank from Powder Magazine, Carl Guevara is feeling like Hulk today. Ian Stewart, we are interviewing Idi Stewart today, right? Julia Batiste says good morning. Ann Noel, Miguel Gonzalez, Wayne Ramsey, Edwin Joseph, Katian Charles, Ozzy Molino, Trinidad Margot, Sankofa say the day used to destroy the iconic buildings. Okay, you're talking about 9/11 in the United States. Mrs. R says good morning. Alistair Hart says, Wendell, did Richard eat a white meat yet? Then he's from the Congo. He have Congo genes in him. We don't know. He may have, but I don't think he'll tell us. Eunice Dublin says good morning to everyone. You have to go and see Richard plays, you know, you'll be surprised at what he eats in those plays. Ambrose Blah, morning to the crew. Bernadette Yates and of course Nelicia Yates. Robert Harper and Mrs. Harper. Robert, was your wife's name again? Is it Kathleen? No. It's Gregory's wife's name. Sankofa say I'm 100% West African. If Wendell sponsors a trip when he's going to the continent again, I will accept. And Danley might sponsor. Helen Presford says good morning all. Chris says Wendell, let me know when you're ready to go to Nigeria. I've been going since 1995. All right, Richard. So we have an invitation from Chris for that he'll sponsor us to Nigeria. Right?
I didn't see the word sponsor there though.
Yeah, no, it's Chris' sponsor. Chris' sponsor. I know him. He's generous like his father. Chevron Shogun says, you're welcome, you gentlemen. A refreshing way to start the day. Thank you very much for your kind sentiments, Chevron. Estelita Sampson says, good morning, guys. Tell Gail to get it together. Who Gail? Chris Gail? What do you do? Mrs. R says, the best. It's Gael.
Gael, probably that's it.
Okay, tell Gael to get it together. Yes, Miss Sampson, I agree with you. Today begins 2018, Wendell. All right. Yes, you okay. Thanks for that correction. I said 2018 this morning when I in the chat with these guys, and then I said 2017 on air. So thanks for the correction here. Sankofa say, I love my country, have a staycation day and life. Great is our nation and it shall prevail. Oh boy. Wendy and James says, no new era on Gael. What's really happening? So Charles is going to be following up on that, Miss
Again.
Chris Sousa said September is obviously a God bless month. Cheryl Henry said, hey, Carol, good morning. Sherwin Kerr said, according to Google, 14 persons from TNT lost their lives in 9/11.
Okay, so that's 25 and double it almost.
Yeah. Derek Duncan, which is a brand new name. Thanks for joining us. Dean Allen says, hi, everyone. Wendell, Charlie Kirk being outlandish does not describe him. He was an outright racist liar, created division. That's what I've seen on social media, Dean Allen, to support exactly what you're saying. But he still doesn't deserve to die the way that he died. But I guess they held someone, an old white man. You saw them taking him away. I don't know if you all saw the video. An old white man being taken away. CJ says, good morning, everyone. Have a fantastic day. Estelita Sampson, Trump. No, okay. Joyce Phillip, good morning. David McCarthy, Prabha Ramdial, Hilary Zan, and Andrew Joseph. Those are all the people I have on the chat.
Okay, let me say good morning to Captain Ron. Good morning to Mr. Beeps in Pity Valley. Frank in Aruka, good morning to you. Nahi in Columbia, Ohio, good morning to you. Mr. Billy, Powder Magazine, PP, good morning. Archbishop Ashton Clark, good day to you. Chris in Kirab, good morning. Fifi in Ethiopia, we're looking forward to hearing from you today. Terry Ann Peters, good morning. Horatio is up and early this morning. Good morning, Horatio. Kent, Slick Money Grip. Virginia, Ron DeSantis, good morning to you. Far Rockaway, good morning to you also. And Cynthia Aaron, good morning to you also. Richard, what was the name of the site that you go on to get the good news that you played? Somebody is asking about it.
That was Facebook.
And a lot of times people send us videos and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Abdel Abdul. I think it's Abdel Abdul is his name, but he's on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. All right. Morning, Ray, Anthony Atwell, and Miguel Gonzalez said the wrong man, the wrong person, they arrested the wrong person. He was later released. Okay, I didn't see that. Thanks for that update, Miguel. And Chris Toussaint is insisting, Richard, that he will sponsor the trip. He said it here in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah.
I thought my largest. I was just checking my ancestry. I thought my largest was from Ghana. It's Nigeria. It's not. It's from Benin and Togo.
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's it for our greetings in the chat, and now we go across to
pay some bills, and then when we come back,
and then we come back and do newspapers.
Yeah.
And we'll take it from there.
Pay $1 down on higher purchase plans at Furniture Plus. Enjoy fast approval, low interest rates, and up to 36 months financing. Retirees, self-employed, and permanent employees apply today. Buy now, pay later with Furniture Plus credit plans. Conditions apply.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop. Located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
You don't default to watch Corn. The biggest comedy of 2025 now comes to Cipriani College for 2 nights only on Saturday the 13th of September at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 14th at 6:30 p.m.
This is the best play ever. I couldn't stop laughing.
Tickets available at usual outlets and at Cipriani College, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily.
This show nearly made me pee myself. It was fantastic.
The best show you will see this year.
You don't leave foul to watch Corn.
Of course, we now go straight into the Express because Wendell is ready to go with the Express. Over to you, Wendell.
Yeah, I'm not worried. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not worried though. If, oh God, I'm a coffee now. All right, today's Express. Some of these stories trending. UNC to hire more real people. I don't know what that means. That's of course Khadija Amin speaking about the URP people that she alleging that there were so many ghosts. Of course, we would have heard it from her. Yesterday, I didn't like how she sounded. See, just on edge, the strike carried out by the U.S. military. Of course, Michaela Pandey, Richard, we should try to reach out to her. We haven't heard from her since the election. He paid a visit to see just yesterday. So maybe we could get a sense somehow what's going on. Bitter blow, Trinidad and Tobago's senior football team. That's about football. 2025 SSFL season gets underway tomorrow, and some other trending stories in today's Express reads, vessel with 11 Venezuelans reportedly changed course before U.S. strike. 3 days into Newton classroom fight under investigation, and a teacher and a student fought. You can imagine that? Well, why can't we imagine it? Because it has happened before. Cop down in QF crash. URP shake-up. Minister confirms firings, denies program closure. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk killed in act of political assassination at Utah College. Okay, so those are all the stories trending in today's Express.
All right, so I'll go through the news day for today and the trending stories on the news day. PM mourns TT citizens killed on 9/11, stands by U.S. in fight against terror. Republic Bank suspends banking at your fingertips feature. Ministry probes brawl between Arima North female teacher and student. 3 in court for South Central murders. Suspended SRP seeks answers over delay in reinstatement. And Tobago stakeholders worried tourism needs peace to thrive. President's medal winner wants to stay and build Trinidad and Tobago. And math teacher takes ministry to court for promotion. And central bank warns against buying forex illegally. What is buying forex illegally exactly?
Exactly.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
What is that?
Somebody come back from abroad and say, I have 100 US to sell, and you buy it. Is that an illegal forex transaction? I don't think.
Yeah.
Or you can buy all the little hole in the wall places and you get extra forex too.
But I've seen business places advertise.
So I don't know what buying forex illegally means. That's what I'm saying. I'm not so sure what that means.
All right, so in The Guardian today, 400 URP workers fired as government suspends Make Work program amid claims of PNM corruption. Tears as confused URP workers worry about future. Paris Ram asked to quit as CMO days before resuming duties. Sources claim.
Story, yeah?
Activist questions PM's humanity for Venezuelans. Cedros fishermen, Venezuela-US tension forcing us into pirates' path. US news outlets claim drug smuggling vessel turned back before US strike. Ambassador, TNT Venezuela ties deeper than the US controversy. There's also a story of a 9-year-old boy beaten, robbed of his phone in a play park. And the Education Ministry launches an investigation after teacher-student fight. I guess that's the Arima fight that you're talking about. I haven't seen the video, but I heard it's outside it.
They're saying buying foreign exchange. The central bank posted a notice on its Facebook page and placed an advertisement. The daily newspaper saying it has observed with concern an increasing number of advertisements on social media platforms purporting to offer foreign exchange to the public. The bank added buying, selling, borrowing, and lending foreign exchange without the required authorization of the CBTT is an offense under the Exchange Control Act. Members of the public who conduct business with unauthorized persons do so at their own risk, including the risk of non-recovery in the event of financial loss, fraud, and disputes. It urged the public to only conduct forex transactions with authorized dealers, such as recognized banks and such as recognized banks. Such a bank so funny. Oh God. Yeah, so you get $200, right? Central bank. The problem is not the unauthorized sales. The problem is access to forex. Come on, you're intelligent.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So that if people are not supply and demand, basic economics. So if you have no supply and a huge demand, people are going to go to other sources to get that demand. Basic 101 economic central bank. So you could print how much advertisements you want. That's the fundamental problem.
But I want to know, what are the penalties for these people buying forex? What's the penalty? Tell us. Because
I don't know.
People lock up.
The issue is, that's the issue. The issue is that the supply and demand.
Yeah.
I wonder I wonder if they're just responding because of the fact within the last couple of weeks we have seen a couple of stories where people have gone out trying to get that money from people being held up, scammed of thousands of US dollars.
Risk you take, but that's the risk you're taking. If you're buying it,
will always be a risk, you know.
Yeah, that will always be an issue.
Yeah.
And that's the risk you're going to take. But people are desperate for foreign exchange, and that's the problem. So people are going to make those choices and risky choices because they need access to foreign exchange.
Yeah.
Some small businesses, foreign exchange is their lifeline now.
Yeah.
As they have nothing to sell.
Yeah.
Or a big portion of the inventory will not be available. So the problem is that. Fix that problem. And with regard to the URP, loss of jobs, UNC, even if there is alleged corruption and alleged ghost gangs, which is what you're suggesting, and that has become a catchphrase to authorize the inhumane treatment of people, okay? Because you terminating people from their jobs for not an economic reason, but for a reason where you're saying it's a ghost gang or something, then put in systems to weed that out without people having to lose their jobs. Because the people who lost their jobs are not ghosts. Those people were real. Okay? So when you're saying, oh, there are ghost gangs in the system and you're going to make it better, all of that is words. That's words to people in Trinidad and Tobago who are tired of politicians and their words. But the hard facts on the ground are those are people's livelihoods. Whether you want to look at them and say, get a better livelihood, that is not your place. That's how they survived. And when you terminated 400 people, you didn't terminate 400 ghosts. You terminated 400 real people who have real expenses, and oftentimes single parents. Do better. Do better.
Yeah. I couldn't understand the reason given for it, though. Not the reason given for it. I could understand the reason given for it, but I couldn't understand the narrative that we kept them on for 5 months, but when they really should have been fired right away. I didn't understand the narrative.
And that PNM did that. I can remember PNM firing people as soon as they got into power like that.
No, I don't remember that.
The numbers that the UNC is doing. And I'm just saying, even if you are doing whatever you are doing to protect the taxpayers' dollars, which is fine, and which I agree with, do it in a more humane manner and with some more compassion.
Yeah.
So find a way to deal with those loopholes and those issues that can be in systems like URP or CPEP and fix them without having to affect the lives and livelihoods of real people.
Yeah.
One person committed suicide already, yeah?
Yes.
That's how much financial issues can affect you. So it's not good enough to just say, oh, it will be fixed and it's for... No. There is a better way of dealing with citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and their livelihoods. And the unions of Trinidad and Tobago, shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame on you that you all have become so silent and almost complicit in these kinds of issues.
Wendell, are you crafting the poll?
Yes.
While you're doing that, we have Captain Ron, who we probably say hook up with this morning to tell us.
Let's hook up.
Yeah. So, Captain Ron, good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to everyone. You guys, good to hear you guys in the morning.
We doing great. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you and to my wife and family and all of Ethiopia. Happy 2018. She's not going to be able to call because she's a bit radio shy because her English is not too sharp. So I've been trying to get her to call, but she's afraid.
That is all right. That is okay, man.
Well, some of our people here English ain't too good either, you know.
She's listening.
All right.
And she says she wants to meet you guys one day. So apparently when she comes over, I'll come on down to Trinidad with her. And we probably can have dinner or something. Or something we can go by Richard's place and have a drink or something. I don't know. You know?
All right.
Wendell's place, I'm sorry.
Yes. Richard have a place that's drink too, you know.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's called All the Bars in Trinidad.
Okay, all right. Yes.
Catherine, tell us what the holiday is all about, and you know,
what it's not a holiday. It's actually exactly what it is to us here in the Western Hemisphere, Western life. That's how the 1st of January is to us.
Mm-hmm.
To them, today is just equivalent to that, which is before, because as Wendell said it, we are celebrating the Gregorian calendar, which started in 1582. And before this Gregorian, it was always the solar calendar, which they follow, which some people call it the Julian calendar system, which is it entails 13 months. And the first 12 months is actually 30 days. The last month is 5 days and 6 days, depends on when the leap year falls, which gives it a 6th day. So it's basically they're following the calculations of the birth of Christ, and they've been following it in the Bible. And this goes all the way back why the Romans, the Pope had sent the Italian soldiers to get down there to try and take out their Bible, right? Because they were trying to colonize the whole world. So it goes all the way back. It's a big thing. So they now celebrate the birth of Christ, not on December 25th, but on the 7th. Their calculations is on the 7th of January. Every year is Christmas over there. So when it's Christmas for us over here, it's a normal day over there. And this month here is called, as Wendell said, Mescalim, and it's important. In 16 days from today, they have a day called Mescal. Mescal really is, if you go to see this, they actually burn a tree, or in some parts, a cross, because the very tree, this is what people like BBC and CNN hide from us. All of Europe, they hide all these things that I never knew until I started seeing it in 2015. They burn this cross all over the country, especially big places like the Queen's Park Oval and things like that. Lots of churches go there, and they burn this cross, these trees, because the cross that Christ died on the wood came from that tree. And just as Pontius Pilate in the Bible washed his hands to signify that he had nothing, as a symbol to show that he had nothing to do with the crucifixion. Since the wood came from the tree over there in Ethiopia, they burn a tree as a symbol to show that they had nothing to do with the crucifixion. And by the way, it goes way back where they actually have the cross buried over there. It was buried in Turkey. They found it, and there was a queen then over there in Ethiopia, Queen Elaine. She sent people over there in Turkey to get it back. So all those things they have in Rome is not true. Where they said they have the cross where Christ died on. No. They have buried it in Turkey and stuff like that. But today's a big day over there. A lot of church services, as usual, like what we do in the Caribbean and in the Western world, and parties and family gatherings and their traditional foods. I mean, it's over 120 million people over there, so it's a big thing, very, very big thing over there for them. And it's their culture, and they follow their Bible. It's all about rotation around the birth of Christ. So I think you guys need to go and visit it sometime and see what they're hiding from us.
That sounds. It's very interesting. I mean, hearing what you're talking about, I just find it so interesting. So you're right. The world has so much, almost like secrets that you just don't know. At least living in this part of the planet, and so it's very interesting.
Richard, you hit the nail on the head there when you said so many secrets, and the secret is because of what the Europeans, and I like to refer to them as the evil Europeans, did with colonization, where they were hiding everything and whitewashing everything and stuff, until Russia came out last year in May of 2024, and he opened the vault and showed everything is totally different from the way we have learned it. It's totally different. When you go to the Ethiopian Bible, it's 88 books, not 66 books. 88 books. And when you go there, there's a church called Lalibela. That's what you all need to go see as well. And also, if you know your Bible, there was an Ark of the Covenant that God had instructed Moses to build. It's in Ethiopia in a church called Axiom. There's a lot of history there, and it's being guarded by priests. And a lot of people with money from all over the world have gone there to try and pay these priests to let them go in there and open this thing to see it. But those guys are very serious people. They take Ethiopians are very, very bright people and smart people. And they take that very serious because the powers, God never removed the powers from the covenants. If anybody go mess with that, we all drop down and die. Anybody within a certain amount of a distance from that. So there's a lot of things, as Richard said, that's been hidden from us. But if you all go on the 26th, if you're there, go online on the 20th and the 27th of this month and look and see how they burn this thing, the tree, as a symbol to show that they had nothing to do with the crucifixion. I never knew that the wood that Christ had died on came from the tree in Ethiopia. So it didn't come from anywhere in Europe, and Christ never was crucified in Europe as they try to paint it and make us believe. But Richard, you rightly said it, and this is their New Year, and their Christmas is on the 7th of January. So there's a lot of things that we need to revisit to learn our history. And I can't speak. I'm learning Amharic right now, but if my wife was brave enough, she'll explain it to you guys better. Right? But good. Listen, y'all, thanks for the time. Have a good morning, and I'm locked on.
All right, thank you very much, Captain.
Thanks, Captain Ron. You did an excellent job, just like you've done flying airplanes. You did an excellent job.
Well, I have just about on the 3rd of January. I'm no longer qualified to fly airliners. I'll be of retirement age, but I heard that the ICAO is working on approving an extension of 2 more years. Up to 67 instead of 65. So we're hoping that comes before December.
All right.
We shall see.
You don't sound a day older than 64.
Thank you very much,
gentlemen. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Of course, that's
some interesting, facts that, So glad we got that information,
Yeah, and COSTAATT, that's what they're celebrating today. The Happy New Year in Ethiopia. And
so if I go to go ahead, Wendell.
No. If you go where?
If I go to Ethiopia, like today, I'll be 6 years younger.
Yes.
I wonder if you would look 6 years old.
It's 2018 there. You'll be 7 years
younger. I know that I'll be 6 years younger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ron needs to go and work in Ethiopia from here on. He get a few years.
Fly for 7 years.
Yeah, it'll be like you go back in 6 years. You go back in 6 years. There's a movie in there somewhere, but
for a pay.
All right.
let's
Yeah,
see
because
if we can get a couple calls while we get ready for the poll now.
You typed up the poll already, Sir Charles?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that Wendell sent it. But let's
I gave him some options, but he did the first one already. So.
Oh, and Europe. But let's take some calls at this point. 2811315, 2811315. On this Thursday morning, it was a little rainy when the morning started, but it seems to have settled, at least in Arima. 2811315, 2811315. What's that?
I say it's still drizzling by me. Remember, you up in the upper echelons. You up in the upper echelons. No, in Arima.
Oh, okay.
Remember, you up in the upper echelons. So
yeah. Well, I'm more proper than you, but yeah. 2811315. We can get some calls at this point.
All right. Captain Ron raised my excitement level for Ethiopia. Actually, I won my Egyptian jersey today, you seen it? Land of the Pharaohs.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. Richard, if it's possible, you can talk to Wassa for me, please. Right now, I'm paying on a $73,000 wall that Wassa take out themselves, the insurance take out themselves, and there is 2 leaks on the street. Every leak they come and fix, they have to fix it 3 times. They come in the afternoon to get overtime, and that's it.
But speak to Wassa,
and up to now, nobody comes back. Gordon Street, San Fernando, 2 leaks going over 5 months.
All right, Wassa. All right, hear that, right? Gordon Street, San Fernando, some leaks to attend to.
They can check out the Samson leak and before they make the lady wall fall down and all kind of thing.
Yeah, Samson is good. You hell down so there. I don't know why she's still living there.
Good morning, caller.
Miss Samson, what's coming to the back door? Drains in not fixed in front of the house. Bad potholes in the road. What's the problem? Oh Lord, Miss Samson. Pressure.
Morning, Zena.
Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Wendell, Richard. Good morning, all. I got up late, but I was in time to hear Captain Ron. That was very, very interesting to hear about their situation over there concerning that religious business. What I found out in reading about this Traore in Burkina Faso, and he spoke about that and the hidden secrets that we don't know in the world, because he was talking about the books of the Bible that people don't know, and he was inviting people to check Ethiopia for the truth about the birth of Christ and all that. So I really, had an idea that it had more books than we know in the Bible. You understand? Anyhow, I was reading the remarks, and when Richard was speaking about URP and the CPEP focus too, I read where Donna is asking, do people really aspire to work in URP? Ma'am, people aspire to work whatever they're qualified to do. They get a job to suit, and everybody can be doctors and lawyers. You have people. We need people who can do other things, and all you have to do is to be very good at what you do. Once you don't thief and rob and kill people and do crime and go to jail, your job that is bringing you an income, it is well worth it. So
who was asking that, Zena?
Yeah, I saw it. Zena, you could not have said it better. You could not have said what you just said better.
You have a blessed day, yes.
Yeah, thanks very much.
People want to work. They don't aspire to work URP or CPEP. They just want to work and make an honest day's pay. That's all they aspire to.
Yeah, but why would anybody even make a statement like that? Because at the end of the day, right, I am sure that very same person who is making that statement, at some point in time, want somebody to cut the lawn, want somebody to move the garbage, want somebody to come and paint some stones next door by them. So why it is that they look down at people's job like that? You ain't going outside there and put your lawn for yourself. You're looking down on people who cut in lawn. I don't know why they like to do that stupidness. Anyhow,
and as Zena said, as long as you're not stealing the money or not corruptly receiving it, it is honest work.
Honest work. Honest work. Look how many, because of COVID and things, look how many jobs and opportunities people just take and have new forms and streams of income and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyhow, people, we're going for the news and come back.
All right.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Rural Development and Local Government Minister Khadija Amin has confirmed that a hefty number of workers in the Unemployment Relief Program have been terminated across 12 regional offices. Amin told Guardian Media the move is part of government's effort to restructure URP and stamp out corrupt practices discovered after taking office. She stressed that many of the positions being cut will no longer exist and denied that the program is being shut down permanently. But San Fernando East MP Brian Manning says his constituency, a PNM stronghold, is being unfairly targeted. He confirmed 14 workers there have already been dismissed and accused the UNC government of acting callously, especially at the start of the school term when families face extra expenses. Manning plans to meet with affected workers at a press conference on Wednesday. An altercation at Arima North Secondary turned violent on September 10th, just 3 days into the new school term. Video circulating on social media shows a female teacher and a female student pulling each other's hair near a desk, as a male teacher and classmates tried to break up the fight. The school is not among the 50 institutions where police officers were stationed from September 8th under a joint initiative of the Ministry of Homeland Security and the Ministry of Education. Arima North Secondary has faced tragedy in recent times, with 4 current and former students murdered over the past year, though not on the compound. The independent expert panel investigating the death of 6-year-old Jasher Francois has now received written statements from his parents. Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo confirmed the development on September 10th, saying the panel's report will be finalized and submitted once the statements are thoroughly reviewed. He assured the process is being handled with diligence, transparency, and respect for the family. Francois died on August 6th, hours after being admitted to the San Fernando Teaching Hospital. His parents claim magnesium sulfate given intravenously caused his death. A hospital autopsy listed aspiration pneumonitis, while an independent autopsy found heart failure, likely linked to the drug. The panel's findings are expected soon, but the minister did not say whether the report will be made public. The Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago is warning citizens about the risks of buying foreign exchange from unauthorized sellers. In a notice on social media and in newspapers, the bank said it has seen an increase in online ads offering Forex to the public. CBTT reminded that buying, selling, borrowing, or lending foreign exchange without its authorization is an offense under the Exchange Control Act. The bank cautioned that those who use unauthorized dealers do so at their own risk, including the risk of fraud, financial loss, and non-recovery in disputes. Citizens are urged to only conduct Forex transactions through licensed institutions, including Republic Bank, RBC, Scotiabank, First Citizens, and other authorized banks and finance houses. The Water and Sewerage Authority has advised customers in parts of southeast Trinidad that they will experience an interruption in their pipe-borne water supply this Friday. WASA says the disruption between 8 a.m. and 12 noon is necessary to carry out mechanical repairs at the Navat water treatment plant. Areas to be affected include Prince's Town, Tableland, Rio Claro, Mayaro, Tabakeith, Barrackpore, Maruga, Penal Rock Road, and surrounding communities. The authority notes that it may take up to 24 hours for supply to normalize after the works are completed. A limited truck-borne water service will be available and can be requested through WASA's website or by calling the customer call center at 800-4420 or 4426. WASA is thanking customers for their patience and understanding. United States Democratic Congressman Gregory Meeks is demanding answers from the Trump administration over a U.S. military strike in the Caribbean Sea earlier this month. Meeks, the ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, says the administration has failed to provide Congress with a legal justification for the strike, which killed 11 people aboard an alleged drug vessel. He insists Donald Trump does not have authority to order such actions in international waters without congressional approval, calling the strike potentially unlawful under U.S. and international law. Meeks also wants the intelligence that justified what he described as an extrajudicial killing, warning that unilateral actions like this mirror authoritarian regimes. He says Congress must reassert its constitutional power over war and peace to prevent the president from dragging the nation into conflict without authorization. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Coming in, we ready to go, yeah. We gon' make them jump, we gon' make them turn up, we gon' make them whine, we gon' make them free up. It's the place of Bacchanal, in this sweet botanical, this carnival. I want you to find your way, everybody on stage, oh God, oh. If you're coming down from the mountain, oh God, oh. When the rhythm beats in town, see me jumping on. Savannah grass,
Well, we're bringing you that morning vibe, we're bringing you that fresh energy, and it's all here on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio. And of course, remember, we stream all day, every day at newerattradio.com. And when you're up inside of there, you can hit that support button because we do appreciate you and need your support, right? Also, to all our friends who are picking us up on the TV stream, and I do hope that the TV stream is up with us this morning. We want you to go across to our YouTube and our Facebook channels, like and subscribe. Right, it's very important. And also, we have a TikTok channel for the breakfast show, which I need to get some numbers so we could do some magic with it. All right, so go across to TikTok and follow our the breakfast show on TikTok also. Right? Stay with us here, and when we come back, continue to vote on the poll, yes or no. And then we will continue with the breakfast show.
Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair. We do it all.
Don't miss Furniture Plus Inventory Blowout Sale. Get up to 65% off in-store and online. Enjoy massive savings on furniture, appliances, and more. Hurry, this deal won't last. Shop now and save big at Furniture Plus.
You don't need foul to watch Corn. The biggest comedy of 2025 now comes to Cipriani College for 2 nights only on Saturday the 13th of September at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 14th at 6:30 p.m.
This is the best play ever. I couldn't stop laughing.
Tickets available at usual outlets and at Cipriani College 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily.
This show nearly made me pee myself. It was fantastic.
The best show you will see this year.
You don't need foul to watch Corn. S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
And we are back from 7 o'clock news. And we will get into all of these support demand inspiring people. I just wanted to explain to people how we come about some of the polls sometimes. Because there are several options to do a poll on a morning based on the topics that are before us. And then sometimes a discussion comes up on here that kind of leans you in a certain direction. So it's not a planned thing, but sometimes based on the stories that come out or the discussions that we have on air, you can easily fashion a poll, right? So that's sometimes how our polls come. It's never planned, all right? And we would take suggestions from people. Sometimes in the chat, you can give us a suggestion. We have used your suggestions in the past, and we will continue to also consider them, all right? I just thought I should say that. So do you support the mass firings at URP? It was a topic this morning. Are you ready, sir? Take it as a yes. He's trying to do the freeze face. All right. We had Marlon Motley saying no, Diane Payne no, Ilarizan Nazir Ali saying no, Gregory and Kathleen Boyer says no, Magic no, Beauty Culture hell no, Eunice Dublin hell no, Michael Cadet no. Yeah, I saw that story. I hope it's not true, but about Dr. Roshan Parasham. We're going a little too far with this politics sometimes. Alistair Hard says both I and Casper say no. Eva Smith no. James Kamau no. Estelita Sampson's on Wharton Street. I think you might have called the wrong street name earlier on, Sir Charles or Richard. CJ from New York says no. Michael Oliver says yes. Carol Guevara, no, absolutely not. Helen Prescott, no. Brennan Smith, no. Classic Brother, no. Where are we now? Woo. Kazim Mohammed, no. Dave Gosai, no. People are complimenting Zena for her comments, as we should. Cheryl Henry, hell no. Bernadette Yates, no. Susie B, no. James Samuel, no. Slick Money Grip, no. I have to sift through these comments to see if people actually vote in it. Rena Jennings, no. Apollonus, no. Melchizedek, no. Joanne Cyrus, no. Colted Finch, no. Donna Ronald Chance saying restructure, not fire. So that's not a vote. Stellar Services, no. Sankofa, no. Angie Brisbane Bascom, that's a new name, no. Hey, you know how long many of them? Annie Bunyan, Richard. Wayne Joseph says no. Margaret Thomas says no. Dean Allen didn't vote. Joyce Phillip, no. Ann Noel, no. Dean Allen now votes and says no. Andre Reno, no. And Debbie Mitchell didn't vote. Lester Cragwell also snuck in there with a no. So Charles, do you have any?
Yes, I do. And Richard, sorry about the mix-up just now. All right. Let me. Brenda says no. Miss Sampson didn't vote. Kenwin says yes. Zena says no. Cynthia, Aaron, I didn't get your vote. Moving along. Captain Ron says no. Fifi says no. Kurt says no. Mahi says no. Archbishop Clark says no. Ron DeSantis says hell no. Pauline says yes. And Sexy Reds, who I ain't ready to hear from for a little while, says no. Good morning, Sexy Reds.
You have any more, Wendell? If you could come off your phone. If you could come off your phone.
No. Actually, I'm now seeing your message.
Okay.
I'm now seeing your message. Lincoln also says no. What's up with seeing the chat on the TV? Well, are we on? You mean on the screen for YouTube? You can do that. So we can do that.
All right. So our poll this morning: do you support the mass firings at URP? We had 54 people voting on the poll in the allotted time. Of the 54 people, 51 of you said no. You do not support the mass firings at URP. 3 of you said yes. 51 said no. 3 of you said yes. for a total of 54. That's it for our poll this morning. The poll is now done. So we can get down. But
Richard, I'm going to send you.
Our guest for this morning, of course, says he couldn't. Something came up, so if he could do it tomorrow, even though tomorrow is really the people's parliament, so to speak, where we open up our lines to all of our listeners to go about whatever we want.
We can switch it wrong.
No, we're not switching it wrong because our listeners are important. So what we could do is a shorter interview with him tomorrow. So Charles, you could organize that with Idi Stewart. But you could probably do a shorter interview with him tomorrow, but we can't bypass what we do on a Friday.
Or we could bring him Monday.
Well, you figure it out. And you dance a tune to dance.
Richard, I sent you a song. Paul Richard sent me a song this morning. Morning, Paul. He said it was banned in the 1940s. And Paul sent it to me. You should listen to it.
It's by a female singer?
Yes, you know it.
I know we had a real raunchy female singer in the 80s talking about different poles and all kind of thing.
Well, you know the song.
Yeah. And once you say that, when you go back to she was the only one at that point in time was doing that kind of thing. She has some other songs too. Yeah.
It was in the 1940s, and the song was banned. I don't know why. Why would they ban a song like that?
They would ban a song like that even now. I just looked at the name of the song and I said, they would ban that song even now. You wouldn't be able to play that, on commercial radio. Even though commercial radio always edits. They always edit. You could have very raw songs. You have very raw songs now. Very raw. But it's edited for airplay. Or they have a clean version that they do instead of the explicit version. But of course, I suppose we could play it here, not so, Sir Charles, because we're not on the internet.
Use the lawyer here,
I'm joking.
You using my expertise.
But if you ask anybody song,
tell them what's the name of the song. At least you can give them the name of the song.
You can't even say the name of the song.
No, you can give them the name. Let them go.
No, you cannot give them the name, Sir Charles.
Tell them at least give them the artist.
And you can't give them the name of the song because the name of the song is in itself very raw.
Well, give them the name of the artist and they'll go find it for themselves. Because once you put in that artist,
I don't know who the artist is. Who's the artist, Sir Charles?
I can't remember it right now. I remember it.
Who's the artist, Wendell?
Well, I gotta play the song.
No, you don't.
Listen, the artist is. Listen. The artist is. Well, all they can do is ask Paul Richardson.
Are we on Gael or are we not on Gael?
You play.
Are we on Gael this morning or not?
No, I don't think. I can't.
Because I see one of my aunts calling.
Sure.
Right. Is it Wilma Fingerdo?
I'm playing it. Hold on, listen.
No, is that the lady's name, Wilma Fingerdo? Yeah, it's someone like that.
The first line of the song is she complaining about somebody knocking at her back door.
Yeah.
Right, so that is one of my aunts complaining that for the second day she's not getting it from Gael. And what is going on? So she just called me. I'm not seeing you all. What is going on? I said, well, I think there's some problems with Gael this morning. She said for 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's Gael's problem, but obviously Gael have some problems going on. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I sent messages to the
The problem does not occur after or before. So someone is dropping the ball somewhere across there.
Yeah, obviously they need to get their act together, whatever that act is. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I wanted to, if I could get it back, go through the names of the people who were Trinidadians at the beginnings who died in 9/11. Plenty times people forget these names, or some people really don't care because it happened so long ago. Some people weren't even born then, who are listening to the show right now. But 14 Trinidad and Tobago nationals died in the 9/11 tragic event in New York City. And they are Conrad Cotoy, he was 50 years old, Joan Francis, Clara Hines, she was 52 years old, Boy Mohammed, 50, Glenroy Neblet, 42, Oscar Nesbitt, 58, Vishnu Ramsarup, 45, Rena Sam Dinu, 38, Winston Grant, 59, Stephen Joseph, 39, Paula Morales, 42, Jerome Ned, 39, Anthony Portillo, 48, and Gumati Thakadeen, 35. So those were the 14 nationals of Trinidad and Tobago who died in that terrorist attack in New York City.
It's 24 years ago, right?
About, yeah.
Today? Yeah, about 24 years ago today.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry that we can we play the video of the Charlie Kirk shooting, Richard?
I'm sure you can. You have it.
I sent it to the chat. I sent it last night to the chat. Yeah. It's right there. Last night at almost midnight, I sent it. Of course, we're going to open the lines in a bit and take the call because we have our guest would have been Idi Stewart, but he has asked for a deferral. Can you?
I mean, should we? I don't know. So Charles Wayne, you're part of the show too.
All right.
Yeah, I think you can play it if it's a new story.
Yeah, but it shows him actually
all over
being
the
shown.
internet.
The internet and us is two different things, you know that?
All the videos shows him being shot.
You know, there are plenty things they show on the internet.
Probably
you can't see, right?
Yeah.
You know, there are plenty things they show on the
probably
internet
more graphic than the other.
Yeah. It is kind of graphic, you know.
It is kind of, this one is pretty graphic.
Yeah, well, let's decide a question then.
But just 4 seconds of long, Wendell.
Yeah, it's very short.
No, there have others that show from a less graphic angle that are a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can find that one. I saw that one.
Anyway.
But I was trying to get onto I was trying to get onto Dr. Paris Ram. If you find the other one, you can send it. I was trying to get onto Dr. Paris Ram to see if he did an interview with us, but he didn't reply. So I don't know. He's been asked to quit the CMO. I don't know why is it that. That's why I don't get involved in politics. That's why I'm not a politician, you know. I don't think I have the makeup for it. In terms of, you know, how seemingly, you know, vindictive politics can get. And I'm not just talking about the UNC. The PNM can be pretty vindictive when they're ready to. So, but politicians generally, politicians generally, because a lot of vindictiveness is going on in the United States and to another. So it's politics is manned by people, and people can be vindictive. And in that struggle for power and that aspiration for power, people can, sometimes the worst forms of humanity come out. And, it's so sad.
Which is why I made the comment yesterday that when you get into politics, because it's the one profession, the one avenue that you can go into to serve people, to help people, to make a difference in the lives of people. And when I say make a difference in positively in the lives of people. It's the one thing that you guarantee to be able to do that. Politics, that is, right? So all you have to do is focus on that, go into politics to make a difference to the lives of people, whether it's people you directly represent, whether it's people you know, whether it's people on the street, whether it's people in some sort of business you want to make a difference in terms of transforming their lives so that they in turn could transform other people's lives. That is the purpose of politics at the end of the day. Not because you have a vendetta against somebody, you're going in there because you want to get rid of them. You understand? It have politicians and are talking. I can only speak from the PNM experience, who feel like they can make you and break you, Because I've not been I have seen that in the PNM. There are people in the PNM who feel that they could make you and they could break you too, In other words, I put you there, I make sure you get this position. But guess what? I could get rid of you when the time comes. You understand? And I've seen it, which is why I had a problem. That I publicly had a problem with one politician in particular. Because I've seen the evidence. I've seen what he has done to people. And I don't like it. And I will always comment on it. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, well, some people are going to serve and some people are going to serve themselves.
You will always comment on what?
You're serving yourself. You'd rather hurt people. Even if at the end of the day you serve yourself, you don't have to hurt people,
When self-interest is a powerful aphrodisiac, especially when your self-interest is being met. And let me explain it to you. And it operates with countries, and it also operates with power. So that's why they say power can be intoxicating, because it's like an aphrodisiac, because it means you can now do what you want when you have power. Mm-hmm. And in doing what you want, people will be hurt. But you get so focused and you get a kind of inner arrogance about what you do. It takes really a particular kind of human being to maintain a level of empathy, compassion, and ruling and using power for the good of everyone without hurting people. That's a very rare individual. Very rare. Doesn't happen much in human history. Very rare. The usual is that self-interest becomes paramount because you're about holding on to power and you're about serving your self-interest in the pursuit of power. So earlier in this program, when I said shame on unions for being seemingly complicit with 30,000 plus, let's say almost 30,000 plus jobs being lost in the first 4 months of this administration, but unions are a part of this administration. Mm-hmm. And so they have certain self-interests as unions in terms of what they are going to get out of their alliance. That self-interest is that aphrodisiac that trumps what your core values are, unless you're that kind of solid human being who's anchored in terms of what you believe is right. So if you're not anchored in that, your self-interest will always move you in a particular direction. That happens with loyalists to the PNM and loyalists to the UNC, or loyalists to the Republican Party, or loyalists to the Democratic Party. It's about self-interest and values that coincide in a particular way. So for a lot of Democrats, they see the Republicans as enemies, and they see the Republicans as, horrible humans even though Republicans and Democrats may have some things in common, but many things, especially the extreme parts of the Republican Party, they can't coincide because your value system seems so far apart. And value systems are often built not only on how you were brought up, but it's also and your world vision, but also about your self-interest in part of the kind of world you want to see. So that issue of self-interest sometimes trumps people's humanity and empathy and compassion. And you're seeing it play out. And people always have excuses of why they're doing X, Y, and Z in terms of, regardless of how it affects other people. And you will have loyalists on whichever party is doing it that will justify and say, yes, they're doing the right thing because of that self-interest and value system. And that's why I say it's very rare. You have very few human beings who can stand solidly and say, no, am I hurting people and how do I minimize this hurt? Very few.
Well, that is such a real thing about the human.
I'm wondering if it's my internet giving trouble or yours.
Yeah. So I was saying, Richard, that is such a real part
internet problem
of the human being, and that selfish side of him. Because just think back to when we had the interview with our guest the other day, and to think what somebody who is most of the time in a better position than the individual will put that person through, and don't even lose sleep over it. Destroy people's lives, and knowing that they're going to destroy people's lives, and they have no problem with it. They
because that self-interest kicks in, and that self-interest, and sometimes self-interest is survival. In terms of whatever you're doing, the self-interest can come in all sorts of modules, so to speak, and you see power. Power is a very, as I said before, it's a very intoxicating thing, and sometimes you will utilize power and it makes you feel, you know why power is intoxicating and they say intoxicating, not wrongly, because intoxicating is like akin to being drunk. So can you be drunk with power in terms of that? In terms of the intoxication of power? Of course you can. And because you become self-righteous, and you become and say, this is I have the power to do this, and I'm doing it because I believe it is right. And sometimes you don't hear other people, or you hear the other voices because you become deaf to the voices at the other side of the rooms that say, no, I don't think that's a good idea, because that power intoxicates you to a certain degree. And that's human history is replete with it, replete with people who have governed civilizations with it. So you see it all the time, and that is, and so when I say self-interest a lot of times trumps people's principles.
Yeah. And I mean, I see that without even right or wrong. Me sometimes even today's world, into all that we're doing these days. I've seen some people done some things to others and have no problem with doing it. Well, we have a couple people who were calling us just now. So people, let's you can get in on the conversation. 2811315. That's 2811315. Of course, we hear we hanging out. We like to hear from you also, right? Zena, good morning. You're back inside.
Yes, Sir Charles and Richard and Wendell, morning again. Listen to me. That come like you don't think when I see what's going on, is it out in Manila? It is also them dragging the Prime Minister in the street.
Nepal.
Yeah, in Nepal. You see, when people promise, it's the promises that are certain, and people so, like some of them, they can't resist when they hear all the niceties that they were to get. They couldn't resist it. But then people who were sensible enough would know that what was being said was not possible. You understand? So you had to notice to decipher the lies from the truth, because we knew some of the things that what was being said, it was highly impossible. You understand? So people couldn't see through that, and they fall for it. That's like people following bees, following the worker bees, following the queen bee. Well, darling, I really have to say, I'm sorry for nobody but myself right at this hour here. You understand? But watching that to see what is going to take place with that same foreign exchange. It is a very, very important and serious topic. They are saying, I heard what Mr. Tanku say, but I don't know, somewhere along the line, I feel something is going to go on with that foreign exchange. You understand? And again, I want to say thank God for all the workers. We must appreciate our men who come to collect our garbage. We must thank all the people who clean in the streets. Well, look at the state of Trinidad and Tobago now. I'm passing by Cleaver Woods there, and I feel some lion would jump out there just now. Because I don't know, we may finally realize we have wild animals here. The state of the place, like jungle all around here. We missing CPEP, and we will miss the URP. Things will only get worse. The country is nasty, right? So they have to take a check. The government are stuck up themselves and realize what is going on. They're not doing anybody thing more than themselves, They're harming their own reputation. So we will wait and see. 5 years has fly very fast,
Sure, right.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah. 5 years has really go very quickly. Yeah.
So we're still taking your calls, but the number is up to 281-1315, 281-1315. We're taking your calls at this point.
Wendell is having some internet problems this morning. Good morning to you, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. I came across the controversial singer in the 1940s last week, and I was like flabbergasted. I was like, this kind of song was out there so long, right? And I say, really, people who criticize Lord Shorty and others coming down and soca were when, you understand what I'm saying?
She was criticized too, Don't believe she was banned.
Yeah, she was banned. But what's saying? I was pleasantly surprised. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I guess the fact that she was a black woman too, I see that as a sign of protest for the system at that time in America with Jim Crow and all that thing. But I suspect she might have been very popular on the underground circuit, singing those type of songs and things. You know what I mean? Wilma Finger. But what you all were speaking about just now, Mr. Raghubas saying, to me, I think when I look at many politicians or people who are involved in politics, many of them would have read Machiavelli's book, and it seems to me that when you read that book, as I have, many of them followed the patterns described by Machiavelli. And the funny thing is that Machiavelli wrote that book to show how not to be, or how people in power should not be. But it seems that what he tried to warn us not to be, people all across the spectrum have adopted it wholesale. And it is regardless of whether it's democracy or you know what I mean? Authoritarian, you know what I'm saying? it goes across the board that the similarities are present. And I suspect that is because the nature of man is one way wherever he is on the planet. You understand? We're talking about gems. Gentlemen, I came across a gem on YouTube there, and I would like each of you all to go and look at it. And that gem was a local movie from 1978 that starred none other than people like Gregory Ballantyne, Shadow, Calypso Rose, Trinidad Rio, and the star of the show who has some acting chops that you might admire, Mr. Raghubarsingh, Edwin Ayong, The Crazy. And the name of that movie is Bacchanal Time. Listen to me, I had a rollicking time watching that movie, and I say, back then, we had a very promising motion picture industry. Think what would have happened if that had continued. So I urge you gentlemen to check it out on YouTube. It's a rollicking good time, and I suspect, Mr. Raghubarsingh, with your expertise and gravitas, you may be able to craft a play from that film, Bacchanal Time.
Bacchanal Time.
Very good, a very good local production. It's centered around stick fighting and carnival, and actually ended with live scenes of Juve in San Fernando. And again, it had no whining in Juve in San Fernando in 1978. But look for it. I was thoroughly amused.
It had no whining in public.
Well, yeah. Why you so, brother? Why you so? I try to keep some of that certain threshold, brother.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Take care.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know why my laptop just suddenly started giving trouble. So I had to switch to my phone, guys. My apologies for missing a little part of the show there.
Yeah, no problem with that.
I'd say as soon as I highlight a certain situation with politicians, like they send a little demon in my laptop.
just you alone, imagine that.
Yes,
good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I did vote Wendell. I did vote Charlie. I'm back and forth from YouTube on the one phone I have from YouTube to WhatsApp. So I did vote no. Tell Gael, get the act together, please, because this back and forth are dizzy.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
No problem, Mr. Thank you very much.
All right. What did I miss?
Bacchanal Time. You ever saw that movie, a local movie?
I've heard about Bacchanal Time.
Okay. Hold one minute. We'll come back to it. Hello, good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Charles, Wendell, Richard.
Morning to you.
Morning, sir.
I have two things that I need some clarification on. Richard, why would somebody want a matter in court to be sealed? Or for that matter, why would the state want a matter to be sealed? I'm referring to the judgment that was handed down with the Vincent Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that shouldn't the public be made aware of all the evidence that means that the matter was done since the 2nd of June. I don't understand this again. Why would the state file an appeal so that or put forward what the judge called submission to seal an issue like that? When in the public interest, everyone's supposed to know what went on, what actually went on. Also, in relation to these mass firings and things in the public service and other places, is there anything anybody could take any action against the union for not fulfilling their fiduciary duties in representing workers who have been displaced unnecessarily? Because this thing is getting kind of out of hand and it is going from one stage to the next. Could you say or shed any light on that?
Yeah, well, the people have to be in a union, and the union didn't argue or protect for them to have any sort of case. So they have to find out whether they were unionized or not, because some people are not unionized. So that would be the key thing, whether they were unionized and whether the union had any interfacing with the employer with regard to the issue. And if not, then they would have to look at what recourse is available to them. But unions are not a silent, but my point is unions are not a silent bunch. They always talk up and get fired up about issues with workers. And Trinidad has a rich history of unionism and activism for workers. We have a rich history of it. And in a period of time where over 30,000 people have lost their jobs and unions are ominously quiet, it is a really strange time in Trinidad and Tobago. The only person I've heard speak up is Michael Annett. That's the only person I've heard speak up. I haven't heard anybody else.
And he's gone quiet.
Yeah. So it's very unusual because Trinidad and Tobago has a rich history of that. You know, dating back to, we know the names like Buzz Butler, etc. And it's just kind of incredible that these amount of jobs have been lost and unions have said nothing.
Yeah, because it would bring people to the streets. They will have marches, protests. So
They're very vocal. They're usually very vocal. Anytime employees are threatened, but they have all gone silent. Well, not all. Mostly silent. And with regard to the ceiling of stuff, you know, do I believe in complete transparency? Yeah, I do. In fact, I believe that cabinet minutes, after you have a cabinet meeting, those minutes of that meeting should be made public by the next week, as me. Politicians will disagree, but as me. And the only ones that should be redacted should be things affecting national security or some economic decision that gives you a competitive advantage that you need to be kept under wraps. Everything else should be made public. You should be able to go onto the Office of the Prime Minister page or a cabinet website and see what happened in the meeting last week and see what documents were presented. And if some were redacted, it should state minute 231 of 2025 redacted for national security concerns or whatever it is. But that's how transparent I believe governance should be. But you know, the people that lead us like to be secretive, the PNM and the UNC.
But it's not just
the PNM even more so, quite frankly, than UNC, because the Freedom of Information Act would never have happened under a PNM administration. In all fairness, it would not have happened under a PNM administration. Because the PNM is instinctively by default secretive.
Yeah, but also because when I first heard that whole ceiling thing, I remember when it was something with Jack Warner's sons, when they had something going on in the US and they had whatever it is and it was sealed, you know. I agree.
You can apply for documents to be. You can apply it and it be sealed for particular reasons. So I'm not sure what reasons that they're doing. Yeah. Like for example, if a minor is involved in something that's sealed. But sometimes it may have some information in the docket that is privileged information, I guess. It has to be something like that. But I can't answer the question without knowing what exactly it is. You would have a reason. It wouldn't just be happening for no reason. There would be a reason. But you have to weigh that reason against the public's right to know what is happening, especially with a state case. So, you know, to me, by default, if I were ever a politician, by default, my default position would be to release, be transparent.
Yeah. All right. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Norfolk, Virginia, front and center. First to begin with, I want to thank you all, excuse me, very, very much for that very, touching interview. My heart was so heavy with the lady that you had on. And from the songs of it, while we do have a structure to some extent, and I do say to some extent, for the support and more so the protection of individuals who have gone through what she has, it still isn't sufficient enough. And you said you'll have her on again sometime. And I just want to say my heart was so heavy. And so much so, the last time I felt like that was just a couple days or maybe a week ago, when there were the women the victims who were given testimony before Congress across here to me, mentioning, that they should release the file. But I personally think it may not be released fully, because this whole town will go crazy. This whole country.
And the Epstein files you're talking about?
Who's going to be on that? Pardon me?
The Epstein files you're speaking about?
Right. Yeah. And because it's on both sides of the aisle, and people at the highest level, and I will leave it like that for now. But just on the lighter side of stuff, we always wondered who was the first caveman or cavewoman, or who was the first person to invent the wheel, the one who discovered how to make fire. And well, old men like Wendell, back in those days, so Charles and Richard, they used to hug up, when they outside Carnival Day. And now wine. I would like to know who was the first man to get that idea, to make it standard to wine on somebody during Carnival. Because when you look at the videos and stuff, everybody just hung up on wine. Even not a wine, but they wine on their own, But that would be very much so. But Richard, you're right. They were whining inside and not outside. Hey, Richard, were you the guy who invented that?
I think I know what. I think I know.
Wendell, I'm sorry. It's Wendell. I was so
Yeah, Wendell might have done it. He was a wrong man.
He was a wrong man. So he might have been one of the pioneers, like in the steel band movement, right?
I think I know what inspired the first wine. I could tell. I feel I have a good idea what would have inspired the first wine. That much I could say.
Oh, you have an idea? Okay. Yeah. You see, guys, we have a pioneer amongst us. Right? Anyway, hey, thanks again too for having Gary Aboud on. Right, while we disagree with some stuff with him, but I see in the chat people were like really disrespectful. Somebody was saying, for example, hey, somebody who he said something, or she said something that to the effect, or he said something to the effect that somebody who don't have an education and some nonsense like that, But look, I have known people who they didn't go to university, they did never even finish maybe 7th standard, and as my grandfather used to say, what do you get when you send well, I can't say the word, but a donkey to university? You get a donkey with a degree. So common sense made before book sense, right, guys? Anyway, you all have a great day. Thanks again. God bless. Yeah. Cheers.
I can't have any intentions.
Wendell, you're under attack, boy.
Yeah, boy. Short man, get into here, boy.
Yeah, Wendell, you're under attack, boy. You're getting jam. You want to talk about wine and jam? You're getting internet jam. Take that in your poor
I think
yeah, Mr. Charles.
The internet don't come on me.
He will get into this morning. Yeah. You know what? Let's Dabadi, I see your call coming in, but let's take the 8 o'clock news and we come back and see if we can get your call before we leave.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Rural Development and Local Government Minister Khadija Amin has confirmed that a hefty number of workers in the Unemployment Relief Program have been terminated across 12 regional offices. Amin told Guardian Media the move is part of government's effort to restructure URP and stamp out corrupt practices discovered after taking office. She stressed that many of the positions being cut will no longer exist and denied that the program is being shut down permanently. But San Fernando East MP Brian Manning says his constituency, a PNM stronghold, is being unfairly targeted. He confirmed 14 workers there have already been dismissed and accused the UNC government of acting callously, especially at the start of the school term when families face extra expenses. Manning plans to meet with affected workers at a press conference on Wednesday. An altercation at Arima North Secondary turned violent on September 10th, just 3 days into the new school term. Video circulating on social media shows a female teacher and a female student pulling each other's hair near a desk, as a male teacher and classmates tried to break up the fight. The school is not among the 50 institutions where police officers were stationed from September 8th under a joint initiative of the Ministry of Homeland Security and the Ministry of Education. Arima North Secondary has faced tragedy in recent times, with 4 current and former students murdered over the past year, though not on the compound. The independent expert panel investigating the death of 6-year-old Jasher Francois has now received written statements from his parents. Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo confirmed the development on September 10th, saying the panel's report will be finalized and submitted once the statements are thoroughly reviewed. He assured the process is being handled with diligence, transparency, and respect for the family. Francois died on August 6th, hours after being admitted to the San Fernando Teaching Hospital. His parents claim magnesium sulfate given intravenously caused his death. A hospital autopsy listed aspiration pneumonitis, while an independent autopsy found heart failure, likely linked to the drug. The panel's findings are expected soon, but the minister did not say whether the report will be made public. The Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago is warning citizens about the risks of buying foreign exchange from unauthorized sellers. In a notice on social media and in newspapers, the bank said it has seen an increase in online ads offering Forex to the public. CBTT reminded that buying, selling, borrowing, or lending foreign exchange without its authorization is an offense under the Exchange Control Act. The bank cautioned that those who use unauthorized dealers do so at their own risk, including the risk of fraud, financial loss, and non-recovery in disputes. Citizens are urged to only conduct Forex transactions through licensed institutions, including Republic Bank, RBC, Scotiabank, First Citizens, and other authorized banks and finance houses. The Water and Sewerage Authority has advised customers in parts of southeast Trinidad that they will experience an interruption in their pipe-borne water supply this Friday. WASA says the disruption between 8 a.m. and 12 noon is necessary to carry out mechanical repairs at the Navat Water Treatment Plant. Areas to be affected include Prince's Town, Tableland, Rio Claro, Mayaro, Tabakeith, Barrackpore, Maruga, Penal Rock Road, and surrounding communities. The authority notes that it may take up to 24 hours for supply to normalize after the works are completed. A limited truck-borne water service will be available and can be requested through WASA's website or by calling the Customer Call Center at 800-4420 or 4426. WASA is thanking customers for their patience and understanding. United States Democratic Congressman Gregory Meeks is demanding answers from the Trump administration over a U.S. military strike in the Caribbean Sea earlier this month. Meeks, the ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, says the administration has failed to provide Congress with a legal justification for the strike, which killed 11 people aboard an alleged drug vessel. He insists Donald Trump does not have authority to order such actions in international waters without congressional approval, calling the strike potentially unlawful under U.S. and international law. Meeks also wants the intelligence that justified what he described as an extrajudicial killing, warning that unilateral actions like this mirror authoritarian regimes. He says Congress must reassert its constitutional power over war and peace to prevent the president from dragging the nation into conflict without authorization. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with new Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Devantry tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
Pay $1 down on higher purchase plans at Furniture Plus. Enjoy fast approval, low interest rates, and up to 36 months financing. Retirees, self-employed, and permanent employees apply today. Buy now, pay later with Furniture Plus credit plans. Conditions apply.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box. You don't need foul to watch corn. The biggest comedy of 2025 now comes to Cipriani College for 2 nights only on Saturday the 13th of September at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 14th at 6:30 p.m.
This is the best play ever. I couldn't stop laughing.
Tickets available at usual outlets and at Cipriani College, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily.
This show nearly made me pee myself. It was fantastic.
The best show you will see this year.
You don't need foul to watch corn.
Of course, we're back, and of course, we're in the closing minutes of the show this morning. Of course, you are watching the breakfast show, just in case you didn't know. And I'm not sure if we came up on Guy at all. I know my aunt had called to say we weren't on in the last hour. I don't know if we ever came on, so we apologize for that technical malfunction yet again with regard to those who are tuning to us on cable TV and up the Caribbean. And so we apologize for that technical difficulty. Hopefully it will be resolved tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow is your day where you can speak with us about any topic whatsoever. I just wanted to say, of course, that theater is on this weekend. The weekend begins tonight, people, at the second after midnight. And I just wanted to say that theater is on. You don't leave foul to watch corn. You're supposed to know that. Don't leave foul to watch corn is on this weekend, Saturday at 8:30.
What
Sunday
price do you pay? What's the price you pay?
You'll
What's
find
the price
out.
you pay?
When you come to the show, you'll find out.
I come on Sunday, God willing. I want to come Sunday, God willing.
Price to pay. You will see it. So anyway, it's on this weekend. Of course, tickets are 250 general, 300 reserve, and are available at K Squared Fashions West Mall, K Squared Fashions East Gate, and K Squared Fashions in Brentwood Mall in Chagolas. Electronics in Arima tickets, Jabili Rawi in Tunapuna, Charmflair Auto Services, and of course, Antoni's Florals in Val Park Shopping Plaza. You can also get tickets at the...
So let me ask this question. I'm not
finished speaking. You can also get tickets at the Cipriani College box office from 12 noon to 6 p.m.
When you on a roll?
Get your tickets early.
What I want to know, this is a serious question. If I have some corn and I leave a fowl to watch it, Is it that the fowl will eat the corn or will walk around the corn and leave it alone or go to the next, go and eat, I don't know, growing mash or something, or bread?
If your corn, it will be very suspicious. So any cock that have sense will walk around, or any chicken or hen that have sense, see that corn there and it come from Wendell, see, say, me trust in that corn. Did I answer your question?
You know, I saw a video outside about 5 people that you do not trust around your corn. five people don't trust across. I know what they had. I think they had the pastor's number one. Yes.
It's a good thing me and no corn again. I throw all my corn out in the yard.
So that's what happened to Wendell's corn.
I hope you can't get rid of your corn and when around people corn.
Well, I can't answer that one. Truthfully.
But with the last few minutes of the show, I don't know if you wanted to scream. I know somebody was trying to call and you updated the news.
Natalie.
Yeah.
Let me say. Anyway, today of course is the Happy New Year in Ethiopia and Kutash. That's what they call it today.
And Kutash.
And Kutash, yeah.
And Kutash.
Yeah. Right. Today is celebration.
Yes, Sir Charles. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Wendell.
Morning, Valerie.
No, I'll be on at your play on Sundays. Please God. So because I
meet you Sunday, God willing. Finally,
she always goes to them, and that's what company for the plate to laugh. And she was out of the country for a while, so she's back, and I'll be there on Sunday. Please God.
All right. We'll make Sunday a line because I think Charmaine vexed with you, Richard. She said she was planning it as a surprise, and you're gonna let the cat out of the bag.
Richard Buzzy Ma. She said she'd be there as well. So I'll get to meet. She said she wants to meet me as well. So yeah. I'll meet her there as well on Sunday. But hear this now, a little choo-choo. I want you all to follow up on this. Whilst I was waiting to listen to the news, I saw where NGC has withdrawn sponsorship for 3 steel bands. On that, please, because that is serious business.
Yeah, they will Cuba Joylanders and some others. I can't remember the other 2.
Another one from I think. I don't know if it's true, but I know sometimes if these things are true, sponsorship is so vital for steel bands.
Yeah.
So I hope it's not true, right? So, and a little bit of Chuko, but I saw Ms. Khadija Amin said PNM. As I say, I'm not no party person, but I like to follow the politics. PNM, when they get into power, they throw the people as soon as they get in. But I've never heard that because I know a lot of people who did not support PNM and work right through in Europe and in CPEP. I don't know anybody who was thrown out the minute they won the elections. So I don't think she's speaking the truth in that instance. So Charles, you see how I'm speaking properly here? She is not speaking the truth.
I don't believe it to be that way.
I think so because I have been going up since the days with LED, what do you call it, lead or dude or something so, and for me, I find it should not. I mean, people have to work. But it must have some kind of people to do something. Right now, everybody could do the same kind of job. And I always find when I was like 12 years, found that these people were not doing anything and collecting pay. But when I grow older, I realize that can't happen. That's not what it is. People cannot work otherwise. Some people probably just don't have the skill and have nothing else to do, but they need to eat. They need to put food on the table for the family. So it's still these programs. I'm not against it at all. But just fix it to suit all of them must cut corruption. All. Khadija, I mean all. So don't just pinpoint PNM alone. right? So that's my point. I know you're close enough. See you
Yeah,
tomorrow.
okay.
By the way, just want to say belated happy birthday to my friend Sandy Brown, who celebrated a 60th with a nice church service and a little lime party last night 10 o'clock. I was at home from since 1 o'clock, you know.
And you're up?
Party going on, you know.
And you're up already? You ain't drink nothing?
And I'm not, I don't drink nothing.
It's church people, Pastor Charles, they cannot drink, I'm not drinking there.
To enjoy myself.
Church people
I
don't have
don't drink
anything on the
anything to
side,
enjoy myself. Anything with alcohol, especially. So, and pardon?
And church people don't drink.
Have a funeral. You see, yesterday with the celebration, this morning is funeral. So,
right, okay, no problem, Dabity. Thanks so much.
You all have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
You too. Well, this is where we wrap up the breakfast show this morning. So have a fantastic day, whatever you do. The weekend begins tonight, people, at a second after midnight. So that's a bit of smile on your face. Have a fantastic day.
Why not drink was non-alcoholic?
Excuse me, I'm speaking.
Wendell.
Whatever you do, and remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. Now you may speak.
I don't even.
Captain Ron reminded me that you're actually 7 years, 9 months younger when you get to Ethiopia. Not just 7 years. 7 years and 9 months.
Somebody was asking me in WhatsApp an interesting question. She was saying that if they say their dates are 2018, let's say they write their date in school September 15, 2018, whatever it is, how do they reconcile it with e-commerce? Like how do you reconcile it in because so much commerce now is international, but the rest of the world will be seeing it as 2025. How do they link their system to the world system? In other words, are their computers saying 2018? Like how you know, is your computer saying 2018? Or is it saying 2025? You know.
Well, hear what I when I go and visit Ethiopia, I'll do a show from there, and I'll be able to help you with that answer. All right?
But we can't hear you. Know, we having internet problems.
Go and chop some corn in the yard and see what them fouling them do.
Jam. So Charles says somebody real jam in your boy. They want you to talk on radio at all. If you get real jam in a room, my boy, I say, what kind of jam? That's what we have to find out.
Somebody else corn.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Whatever you do. This is the breakfast show. Isn't it? Yeah.
Bye-bye. Yeah, bye.
Yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes.